Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maciej Buzgo and I'm from InoCure company. I want to tell you more about our DEXIC project. So, with aging of human population, the need for innovative medicines is increasing. On the other hand, the pharma industry is in a very big crisis. The success rate in clinical trials is only 10%. This means that in clinical testing, 1 in 10 drug candidates make it to market. The mean time for a new drug development is 13 years. The cost is $2.5 billion. This is a very big problem. When we check the drug development process, we can see that we are starting in testing with cells, which are cultured out of the body. Then we are going to animals, and finally we are going to clinical testing. As you can see, in the first phase there is the biggest refinement, and in addition, the cells are cultured in such plastic environment. This is not like the body. So, InoCure developed a novel membrane. This membrane is based on nanofibers, which is mimicking the extracellular matrix surrounding the cells in our body. But we don't stop here. In the next part, or the next generation, is actively talking to cells. We are able to embed signaling molecules, which are like hormones and similar molecular species, which are telling to cells, now grow, now proliferate, now differentiate, now die. In addition, it is a ready-to-use solution. So for us, for customers, it is saving time, and time is money. So, where we are now? The first generation of the product, the membrane, is already on market. It's called InoMatrix. In the second generation, we call it DMatrix. The technology, the unique technology, we are only in the world which is doing this thing, is already developed. It's upscaled, so we are able to manufacture the same amount as with the first generation. And now we are ahead of optimization of kits, which will be used for particular diseases. So, who are our target customers? In the very start of the DEXIC enrollment and of InoMatrix enrollment, what we are doing now, is approaching of research laboratories. Virtually any laboratory working with cells can use our technology. In the second part, we will focus on pharmaceutical companies and toxicological screening companies, and this is a multi-billion market. So what is our projection? Basically, pharma industry is slow. After 2 years, we are aiming for 5% of the global 3D cell culture market, which will result in profit around 6 million euros. So, what we have done? Basically, in the past, we made 2 products, InoMatrix, the membrane, as you remember. The second system which we have is InoSpin. It's a modular electrospinning system, which is making these membranes for other applications. Then we have a distribution network for InoMatrix across Europe. We are profitable already. We are having around 100,000 per year, and we are having a very big network of different companies, pharma industries, universities, and we are enrolled in 7 European projects right by now. So, who are our team members? Who is behind the innovation? We are a mix of different people with different skills and with different background. Radovan Vacek, he's our business developer. He's our CEO. He's responsible for running of the company from the accounting and lawyer point of view. From technological point of view, from product development, it's me. And this work is powered also by Andrea Staffa, who is our cell and tissue expert. Miroslav Dobny, who is our chief engineer, because we are manufacturing on unique hardware, not just this hardware, but hardware producing the hardware. And finally, we have Ivanka Krupova, which is responsible for sales and marketing of our product line. So what we are seeking? We are seeking investment around 3 million euros, basically which will be used for R&D and the following sales and marketing, because we want to go global. And we are offering 30% equity for this. So I want to add that the world needs innovative drugs. The world needs DEXIC. Thank you.
Teraz fantastic, including applause. You were 5 seconds under 5 minutes. Well done. Good. So can we switch the order this time? Because you always take all the questions.
Yeah, so I'm going to be the first again. So 2 quick questions. So you mentioned there are kind of specific clusters of diseases that you can kind of target. So
Yes.
can you mention which are these and why you have made that decision, how you kind of calculate that? And the second question, I saw your team, very impressive from the technology and business, but do you work with any key opinion leaders, maybe from the research and pharma, because you really want to also change the paradigm of how the clinical trials are being in the current framework. So, you know, it's a very challenging. So how do you work with the key opinion leaders?
Okay, I will start with the key opinion leaders. This is very tough. We are a young team, so we are cooperating, or my background is tissue engineering basically. We are having a lot of cooperations and very good partners from revenue professors from University College London, from the Western universities. And we are trying to network also with the pharma industry and so on, but it is quite rigid. On the other hand, we are also having a very good coach, Antonio Ornas from Portugal. He was ex-boss of one of the biggest distributors of laboratory devices. He was working very close with Thermo Fisher and so on. So we are coordinating our activities with him. In the electrospin part, we don't have as bad name, or we are quite renewed. For instance, for tissue engineering, I am serving as keynote speaker or invited speaker in some conferences and so on. So we are trying to build on this, but it takes time, and you know, it is based on this. The second question was about the key diseases. Okay, I remove it because of the complexity, but basically, our pipeline first will be kit for mesenchymal stem cells. Why? It's the most used stem cell type, and when you want to work with mesenchymal stem cell in cell therapy, tissue engineering, only research, they don't have a marker on their surface. So this means that you need to make a differentiation test. And you will make a differentiation test on our metrics because it will be the most native one, and the cells also can be expanded on this. So we will target these markers. In the meantime, also, we are working on toxicological kit. We are having quite close cooperation with MatTech, which is one of the big American company and one of few companies which are approved as animal alternative models. They are great in the cell part of the industry. We will develop better metrics for them. So their primary cells will be happy and their models will be even better. And this will be a very big change because once OECD approves the technology that it is an alternative to animal testing, no one can anymore use animals for this. This makes very big ethical impact, but also it is a profit for us because we will be the technology which is already approved. Then we are having some projects and cooperations on Alzheimer. Since now all Alzheimer drugs are out, the big pharma are closing their neurodegenerative pipelines, like Pfizer, for instance. And it's a big change from one theory to second theory. And we are with the key opinion leaders of the second theory in very close contact. We are trying to get funding for this and so on. So we are trying to catch up with the trends.
Okay, may I? Is your CEO with you today in here?
Not really. You know, we have a bit.
Next question. Do you really believe that the world needs innovative drugs?
Yes. Why I believe?
Yeah.
Because, okay, since we are living longer, the diseases which were not as prevalent in the past.
Sorry, I make it more precise. From business perspective, you described quite a machinery, billions of dollars.
Yes.
Do you really believe those guys who are holding the business right now
Yes.
are willing to take it to the table?
They need it. Because basically the old diseases, they are out of patent. They are generics. When generic came to the market, they have problem. They cannot sell for such a prices. Therefore, they are investing to Alzheimer, Parkinson, to these diseases. Because it's a new drug, they are protected for 25 years, and they are putting money to it. But here, in these complex diseases, they are failing because they are using this plastic instead of something which is better. In addition, even the big pharmas cannot test on animals as freely as maybe 5 years ago. So this time is coming and we are prepared.
Thank you, Maria. I love your passion and dedication. Thank you.
seconds.
Sorry? Okay.
So you want 5 million euros, yes?
3 million.
3 million.
Yes.
So for me it sounds like you want just cash on your account, bank account, because you generate. So for what aims? So
Basically, I don't want, okay, this 3 million euros is for VC. What I need the most is a strategic partner. We are aiming not just for money, we are aiming for money with connections, with a story, which will help us to really reach the big ones. With VC 3 million euros, we are able to build strong enough sales and marketing team, which will be able to hire the key opinion leaders and to really make it impactful and have enough references from important people. So this is how will be the money spent.
And should question 30% of the company, of the main company, or just this project?
Yeah, this is quite hard because we are having quite a broad pipeline. Really it depends. From my point of view, it's 3 million euros for this part of the company. The rest, because our technology can be used also for delivering drugs, so we are preparing ourselves for something even bigger in maybe 5 years. So, but therefore we want to go forward with this really solid option now.
Thank you, Maciej.